All right, so we're back and better than ever. All right, so let's talk about what we're seeing. We're going to draw our lines, etc. So, yesterday we created a new high right here, which was just barely over our high from the previous day. So we're still in that new high territory here. We're right at it actually. So we dropped down. And yesterday I marked it, but did I don't think I streamed it. So let's go here. Okay. So this is my other chart. So what you have is yesterday what happened. Okay, so we were trading at an all-time high, and I was thinking we were gonna break and just go, but we tested, the price auction. Were people willing to buy all the way at all-time highs? They were not, and so we came all the way back down into the range. We bounced around in it, we broke it, and then we came right back up into it. We eventually, and I noted this, and I took a screenshot, but I wasn't live when I did this. This was your beautiful break retest, and then you have another retest off of that as well, where there would have been a trade in here, which I didn't mark, but that's where it was. So we ended up trading below the range. Oops, I accidentally moved that. We ended up trading below the range for a good part of the day, actually for the rest of the day. Then upon open, we came back into the range. This is last night. We came back into the range and we actually managed right here, doo, 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 we actually managed to break the high right here, came back into it, chopped around. We eventually ended up trading higher. So we are actually higher. We ended up trading higher overnight, but then every time we kept hitting this same area. And if you look over here, doo, 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 doo. Yeah, this mess. We keep hitting the same top right here, multiple times. We keep hitting this high. We eventually broke it right here, and then we came right back down into it. So we are trading pretty flat, pretty choppy. If you look, we haven't actually gone anywhere. We've been trading in this exact same range. As you can tell, there's a clear bottom, there's a clear top with, you know, moments where we spike below, spike above, but we're not actually going anywhere. We're just trading in a range. So, this is important to note. I'm going to make a log of that, and um, yeah, I'm gonna make a log of that real quick. Hold up. Trading. Gotta go to my. All right, so Okay, so I basically just put all of that info into ChatGPT just to kind of get a, not for it to tell me what to do, but I feel like yesterday if I had verbalized what was happening, well, yeah, I feel like yesterday if I had verbalized what was happening in ChatGPT, um it might have been like, yeah, we're trading at all-time highs. Don't try to trade the all-time highs like I did yesterday. And we're still at that same level. So, all right. So, let's just kind of go over what chat is. Ooh, I'm trying to listen to music, but it's distracting my ability to talk. Um, So, yeah, let's just go over what chat is saying. Let me draw my lines because I'm gonna forget real quick. Okay. So yes, here's your low, your market low. And then we have a pre-market high. Okay, there we go. Pretty tiny range, Lizzie. I know, it's pretty small. Okay. In comparison to what we have been getting, it's very small. Yeah, this one is 153. Okay, there was news right there. Oops, I think I chose the wrong arrow. Oops. I chose the wrong type of arrow, but it's not bad. Okay. What news was today? It was PPI. Okay. Okay. So, let's read this. Okay, so blah blah blah. Okay, so what kind of environment we're in? So this is not a trending environment. It was trending, not saying something very specific. All-time high discovery, acceptance, distribution, and balance. Here's what price told us yesterday. So yesterday we broke pre-market range, failed continuation. That was failed continuation up, traded below the range most of the day, and already told us initial buyers were weak. Makes sense. Overnight we reclaimed the range, broke yesterday's high, printed a new all-time high. That's liquidity seeking, not necessarily continuation. Since then, repeated pushes above high, immediate fast rejections, back down, big wicks, overlapping candles, tight range, classic ATA, all-time high absorption. This is exactly what markets do at extremes. Early buyers take profit, late buyers get trapped. Me. Large players unload inventory into strength. So you're saying this feels like a no trade day unless we're selling. Is very grounded. Volume confirms your read on this is important. You know, something subtle but huge, higher volume than yesterday, no directional progress, more wicks, more overlaps. It tells us there's greater effort, but it's not going anywhere. This is distribution behavior, not accumulation. If this was strong continuation, volume would expand with range, highs would hold, pullbacks would be shallow and respected. Instead, every push higher is met with aggressive selling. As you can see, every time we pump higher, we just sold, right? Gotta push up, sold down immediately. And look at all these candles within candles. As you can see, we'd start here and like see how these bodies are within the body of the next candle, almost all of them except for when we're getting like this or this, but then this, all of the bodies are within the bodies and wicks of other candles. So that's what I'm meaning. Every blah blah blah, price snaps back quickly, no follow through. This is where you want to be. This is not where you want to be pressing longs. News reaction at 7:30. Wicks, candles inside candles, no expansion, um, which was here. All of these wicks, there's no expansion. News was used to facilitate two-way trade, not start a move. When news fails to expand range at all-time high, it's usually a warning sign, not an opportunity. So how do we approach today? Let's make this plain with simple so you don't overthink it. Why wasn't I doing this yesterday? Okay. Chasing breakouts above ATH. Assuming new high bullish continuation. Forcing trades just because volume is higher. All-time high breakouts are guilty until proven innocent, or they're bad until they're proven that they're not. Yeah, two valid plays, honestly. So no trade day, very valid. This is honestly the highest probability choice given all-time high, tight balance, failed news expansion, wick heavy structure. Your job here is observe, mark levels, preserve capital. Flat is a position, and on days like this is often the best one, possibly. Sell only, but with strict conditions. If you trade today, it should only be short biased only, and only if the market gives you proof. Proof looks like fair at all-time high, range high, multiple rejections, lower high on execution time frame, acceptance below overnight balance. Where was our overnight balance? Oops, I moved that. Yay. That was an accident. 1 second. Okay. It's mostly back to where it was supposed to be. Okay. So yeah, overnight balance was, I mean, we pushed up overnight because we started down here somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is a weird one. It's a weird one for sure. But here we are coming into the low. For the pullback, and it says impulse down, clean push, no immediate reclaim. Then you trade the pullback, not the break down, the retest. Your targets are not ambitious today, mid-range, overnight VWAP, etc. Prior value area. Let's look back. Yeah, I mean, we could just trade in this range all day, to be honest. Yeah. Let me get out my, I'm not even logged in, so. One positive thing from yesterday is I think I was scared. I've been anxious to trade every day because every single day I come in here and I'm like, okay, don't forget to set your stop loss. Okay, yeah, every day I would come in here and I'd be so scared to lose because I've been on this winning streak. And so I'd come in just terrified. Goodness, I'd be coming just terrified to lose simply because I've been losing this entire, I've been winning so much, and it's like every time that I have a loss, it breaks me down. Well, usually it would break me down. I'd go into an identity crisis. I would stop trading for a while. It would be a whole crisis every single time I would lose. And now, after yesterday, I realized, wait a second. I can lose and not blow up. And that's not to say, like, oh, I can just lose it all. I'm saying I can lose and not FOMO and revenge trade, because old me would have been like, well, I'm already down $2,000 on the account, may as well throw it all away. And I would have too. Like, there's your big push down. Let's see if we can hold. Yeah, like old me would have been like, oh, yeah, old me would have been like, oh, you, see what we do here. I don't like all these lines that have formed. Okay. Yeah, old me. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, old me would have been like, oh, you lost, okay. Well, um, what was I even saying? Yeah, old me would have lost, and then I don't know, I would have just kind of spiraled, and then I would have turned it into a meaning about my worth and identity, and it would have been a whole mess. But yesterday it was like, okay, that happened, moving on. And that's such a it's such a beautiful place to be able to say, I lost, now I'm moving on with my life, and not to make it about my worth or my identity. Oh, oops. um, or anything like that. And I've always done that in the past where I lose, and then it's just, one big travesty. And now I'm at a point in my life where I can lose. We're going to be looking for a pullback here. Um, I said a pullback. Um, I'm at a point in my life where I can lose. I said a pullback. Okay, fine. Anyways, I'm at a point in my life where I can lose, and I don't assign it to my worth and who I am as a person. And I've always done that. I've always looked at a loss as, I'm a horrible trader. I'm not following, like, maybe this isn't my purpose. Maybe, you know, God's punishing me or trying to teach me a lesson or this and that. Like, I always just assumed that a loss meant something bad about me. And um I never got to a point where I could say, um that the loss was not about me. It had nothing to do with me. That's just the market. It's just the market. Um, but yeah, so that's a nice pullback. I'd like to see a completion of a red brick before we enter. Well, that should have been a completion, but it was not. There's your brick. Oh, it sort of created it, but then it didn't at the same time. That was weird. Wow. Okay. That did not create. It was valid. It just didn't go. Okay. Oops. Stop loss. Okay, why? Okay. I missed the initial buy-in, which should have been there, but that's okay. Yikes. Just wait. It's not bad, it's just not great. It's okay. Oh, I was up 2,000 for a second there. For a second there, bud. Oops, maybe I should have closed out of that. Maybe you should have. All right, I'm gonna close out of that before I get greedy or something happens. Okay, there you go. So there were a couple of bad ones. How many did I take? Two. We ended up staying in this one a little bit longer than I normally would have. So yeah, we're back up just a little bit. There was a little bit of a better push there, but okay, so let's talk about this one. So we did get a valid entry right here. It did not go clearly. Yeah, it did not go. And then we got another valid entry here. I got in late, or about at the bottom of this second one, which was not great, but we got in late. Then I did not set my typical stop loss because I don't know, wasn't in the mood. Anyways, so I did set my typical stop and I let it run down a little bit more before I exited. Um, so so yeah, that's what happened. Anyways, so yeah, first one wasn't, second one was. Um, yeah, that's what happened. Where did I get in? Yeah, I got in. I don't even know. I don't know what happened there. Because I see right here, I got in and out, got taken out on the same candle, this wick. If I had waited for that candle to close, maybe. Um, but I don't know. So, okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so I was saying that it's good. It's good that I lost yesterday because I realized, you know what? I can lose and my life isn't over. And I used to not think that. I used to think that if I lost, everything was over. And that's actually not the case. You can lose and your life's not over. You keep on living, um, keep on just doing. So it was positive. Yesterday was positive because today I came in here. We just created our 15-minute now. So today I came in here and I'm like, it could be all over or not. I don't know. And and that's the thing. Like it could be all over or not. I don't know. And that's literally all it is just um being detached from the result. The result doesn't make you a good trader. It's how you handle the losses and the wins because, sometimes wins throw me off more than losses do. The wins make me not want to trade at all because I'm like, well, I'm already, I have this quit while you're ahead mentality. I beat my fiance at Mancala like 3 times in a row. And I'm like, I don't want to play again. Why would I? I already won 3 times in a row. And if I play again, I could lose my perfect winning title. So I have the mindset of if you're winning, why throw it away by continuing to play? Because the odds are you're not going to keep winning, right? And so, um, you know, when it comes to trading, you can't have that mindset of, if you're winning, just quit while you're ahead. Because if you quit while you're ahead, you'll never win ever. You'll just be stagnant and stay exactly where you are. And that's the whole problem. Um, yeah, that's the whole problem with what was I saying? I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, that's the whole problem is that, the whole, oh, quit while you're at. No, like you honestly need to just um, keep going. And so having a loss, especially as great of a loss, is positive to me because it shows me you can lose and not and yet still win in some aspects. Okay, well, we're just going for it. We're going for it. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Well, that's actually kind of crazy. Anyways, Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna do a couple of things. One, I'm gonna log out of this account so that oops. Yeah, we didn't make back what we lost yesterday, but we are not doing horrible, so that's good. Okay, so honestly, it was a solid setup. I lost it because one, yeah, because it just pumped up a little bit more than I was expecting. My bad. Um, was you're like, yeah. Okay, but no, I'm gonna log out so that I don't accidentally think, oh, another trade. Log out of trade of eight. There you go. There you go, kids. Okay, so, um, okay, so let's make a note of our trades. So first, let's talk about, let's go to our notes. Oh wow, just kind of dropped. Where is my sticky note? Okay, today, Wednesday. So let's start our notes for Wednesday. So PM range is, I don't need to say is, 153. Okay. What kind of jams are we listening to? Low volume right here. Between 3 and 5. Let's note that. I just made a note that I want to start watching what happens when we are breaking the pre-market before Yeah, let me say this. Watch what happens when we break PM range before 15 main is constructed. There we go. Okay, let's do this. So I said market context, we've been trading at all-time highs with sharp reversals every time we test the ATH of overnight. Watch what happens when we break pre-market range before 15-minute opening range is constructed. There we go. What are we doing now? Now we're chopping right along. Imagine I entered somewhere in here and took profit like right there, and I was up like 2,000. Meanwhile, it chopped around and then it dropped all the way down here. Could I have held it for a little longer? Probably. I don't know where this is heading to. I don't know if we could continue down, but yeah, I like gold, okay? It moves nicely when it wants to. Let's just take a screenshot, download. See, this was a short day. It was only 30 minutes. I was on the chart like 2 hours previously. Oh wow, look at that just go. Obviously missing it, but hey, it's all good. I'm not missing anything, honestly. Yep, not missing anything. Okay, let's go to our let's open up. Is it the 14th? Ta-da! Okay. And that is a wrap, folks. Wrapper. Yeah, I have work and stuff to do. Yesterday I spent a lot more time on the chart just because I did. Look at that. I mean, we entered up here. Yes, we had a loss and there was some chop, but this is looking like one of those that you might have could have held all day. I'd like to see if it ends up being that, but for today, I call it pretty decent. Also, yeah, volume is kind of low compared to what it was pre-market, but sometimes lower volume is better because it tends to move more smoothly when there's not a trillion people trying to trade. Anyways, good stuff. Okay, I will be back tomorrow. Yep.